was very interested in what was happening to the family in the 50s, 60s, and then 70s. And of course, I saw all this. And what happened is, for political reasons that were driven primarily by the very community that we're talking about, the mental health community, had a large role to play in what I call the progressive utopian cultural Marxist movement. They were trying to create a world of tolerance for things such as sexual perversity and gender ideology and transgenderism and wars and basically they had a grasp on us in such a way that they made a significant change in the family, which was a constraint against the control that was sought by people who were the elitists of the time. And that has not changed. It's actually gotten much worse in the last 50 years. So the problem of families, which in the 50s were single wage earner families, where dad could go to work and have two cars in the garage and a house that's paid for,
Yep.
that changed significantly in the 60s and 70s. And the change was correlated with financial issues such as the war in Vietnam, which it was sucking the country dry financially. And then at the same time, Lyndon Johnson's war on poverty. And if you looked at the way people's lifestyles changed during that period of time, it was related to the fact that there was, along with inflationary pressures, which were coming along, it was related to the fact that families suddenly couldn't afford to be single wage earner families. So the livelihood producer now, who was comfortable with his gender role for 7 million years in evolution, was no longer comfortable because now mom is competing with him in the workplace. So now gender comfort is extremely important. We've never seen anything like this in the entire history of the human species. So now you have two people occupying one gender role. You got a woman who's working, you got a man who's working, they're competing for livelihood. What happens to the kids and the rest of the family? Well, the extended family was destroyed. Finally, that was the main constraint against the power structure and the political power, especially. They needed, in order to control people, it's much easier if you can get rid of the things that are creating a support system, such as the extended family. So for the first time in human history, we delegated away the care of our children